Welcome to this Sunday Night Fight. Fighting out of the red corner, coming in at 6'4", 225 pounds. He mouth kisses his son. His wife is much more successful than he is. He got his ass beat twice by the New Orleans Saints this year. Tampa Brady. In fighting out of the black corner, coming in at 5'10" and a half, 6 foot tall with cleats on, 209 pounds. He's your hometown hero. He's your leader. He's the savior of New Orleans. Drew Brees. And speaking of fights, how about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson instigating, agitating another trash Bears wide receiver, this time the culprit Anthony Miller. We'll sort of see something similar in this game this weekend with the Tampa Bay Bucks, and we'll continue to see Marshawn Lattimore living rent-free up in the mind of Mike Evans. The defense for the New Orleans Saints against the Chicago Bears, they were dominant. Didn't really feel that way though. It's kind of like getting paid to do stand-up, but nobody shows up to the club. Hashtag COVID. It's like smashing a grand slam when you're down by 20 in the ninth. It's like building a sweet six-pack, but it's no longer beach season. It's like having plain pancakes, but there's no fun toppings. Like I said, they were good, but just nothing special. No sacks, no fumbles, no interceptions. Speaking of nothing special, how about the game's MVP? Mitchell Trubisky. What? How in the world did Mitchell Trubisky get the MVP of the game? Were everybody voting from Chicago or on crack? I really don't understand how a dude who threw for about 100 yards in the game until the last drive was the MVP on slime time. Or like Bitchel Trubisky. There was a bit of a 90s flair to the game. The game was on CBS and on Nickelodeon. They had a bevy of broadcasters. Nate Burleson, a couple of Nickelodeon stars, and then they had the offspring of Ian Eagle, Noah Eagle, a 24-year-old broadcaster. Nepotism is great, but I'm not convinced that he is Ian Eagle's son, because I was going back and forth between the CBS and the Nickelodeon broadcast. I'm pretty positive that Noah Eagle is in fact the offspring of Jim Nantz, because I couldn't tell worth a shit between the two of them. They sounded about the damn same. If that's a DNA test, they're related. There was something confusing about the Nickelodeon broadcast though. If I remember correctly, when you're on a Nickelodeon show and you actually get slimed, it's when something bad happens. So why in the world does Sean Payton go out and get slimed after the football game? Shouldn't the MVP, Mitchell Trubisky, have been the one getting slimed? He got the damn trophy. Why didn't he get covered with slime? They lost the football game. But the Saints won and they're moving on. My MVP though would have been Michael Byrne. Don't ask me why I like that guy, but he is the f***ing best. I wish I would have had a vote.
You could have voted.
Why didn't you tell me? But at least there was no big injuries in the game against Chicago. Hopefully we'll get Mr. Giddy, Trey Hendrickson back so we can bum rush Tom Brady. We got the pirate ship pulling up to the port this weekend, and honestly, this might be a bye week for the Saints. After we smashed the Bucks twice already this season, the math is in our favor. They say it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. Give me about 70% odds to win that game. We dominated the Dome in the opener, and we blew up the pirate ship in week 8. We swept the NFC South this year. We might as well make it like a wedding and add a +1. I know Tom Brady has never lost 3 times to the same team in his career. Might as well give him a first. Let's make it like prom night, baby. You know what would be great? If Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was able to get into Antonio Brown's head, and hell, maybe even Tom Brady's head. If you go back to week 1, maybe he already did. Bruce Arians renting out beachfront property in his mind this week, talking about Deontay Harris, who he's shaking in his little sandals up on the beach about. Not Michael Thomas. He said he wasn't really worried about Michael Thomas. Not worried about Alvin Kamara. Not even worried about Drew Brees. He's worried about Deontay Harris. And I love it! And I'm curious who Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is gonna get ejected this week. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'm hoping that it's Rob Gronkowski. I would love to see his big ass get tossed up out of the Dome. Saints Bucks, the shot for the title fight on the line. Trey Hendrickson, please come back. We got this. Like I said, basically a bye week. Who dat, baby? I ain't even worried. Saints Bucks, it's going down. Pop. To this evening's fight. I just spit like crazy. Mike Evans. Interesting. This weekend against Tampa Bay, Sort of like this weekend in, nope, living rent-free and continuing to live, nope. It's like nope, yeah, I didn't look. Are you sure we're recording? Because they literally couldn't do anything because...
What is happening? Are you having a stroke?
I'm glitching. What are you just trying to give Mitchell Trubisky? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to just give Mitchell Trubisky an ego stroke? That's not what I want. Suck at signs and slinging dimes.